Is on upside down box. Silly goose. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and board gamey things. I am back again today with another pumped up Kickstarter. And today's pumped up Kickstarter is on Tekton Dash from Danchigo Studio, who very kindly sponsored today's video. Now, as per usual with my preview videos, I am not going to do an official how to play. This is a general overview to help you decide whether or not this game is a good fit for you. A few other things to note. Number one, if you are interested in this game, all of the links, everything are going to be in the description below. So click on those, read the rule book, read the reviews, do all of the stuff to make sure it's a good fit for you. And finally, this is a prototype, so everything that you see is potentially subject to change. You know the drill. So without further ado, I say we take a look at the table and see how Tekton Dash works. Let's dash into it. Welcome to the wild world of Tektonia, where speed, strategy, and sabotage collide in Tekton Dash. In this game, you're a dasher racing through ever-changing lanes, teaming up with quirky Tektons to collect magical tiles, complete secret blueprints, and maybe sabotage a few friends along the way. But be quick, if you take too long, your Tekton could turn into a mischievous Mekton and join the Tektonian takeover. But what does any of that mean? I'm glad you asked. Let's take a closer look at how the game works. Tekton Dash is a racing building game for 3 to 6 players where you're racing to collect colored tiles that match your blueprint, navigating around obstacles, stacking tiles, activating power-ups, and blocking rivals. Your goal is to complete your green blueprint in lap 1, then flip to your red blueprint for lap 2 and cross the finish line first. Along the way, you'll grab power-up shift track elements and trigger sneaky moves like swapping tiles, moving walls, or freezing opponents. Think of it as a hybrid between racing and tile building puzzles, with a healthy dose of chaos. You'll love to see it. So with that all being said, let's take a look down at the table at this very beautiful, bright colored game. So here in the middle, we have the racetrack. Now, depending on your player count, you will be using between 3 and 6 lanes. We have set up for a 4-player game, as you can see, so we are going to be using 4 lanes. We've got a few other components kind of hovering around the board, like track elements. We've got our player boards here. We have power-ups and the die here, and then here you can't really see, but these are podiums. So we have first, second, and third place. Like I mentioned, each player will have a player board, and you're going to have your blueprint on the green side. Flipped over is what it looks like on the red side. Players are going to start with 2 of these little elements here. You've got your little totem marker, and then we have our little racer meeples, which are going to be down at the bottom. These are called dashers, and that's what's moving around the track. All of these starter tiles are placed on their basic side. If you flip them over, you may notice they get shiny. We also each have a secret ability token with a unique power, but because we're among friends here, I will flip over mine to show you what it is. Mine's called Trash It, but everybody has one, and you keep these a secret from everybody else. We also have some reference card here. These are the Dasher specialties, so I just showed you mine, which was Trash It, which is listed down here. They're all on the card. We also have the set of actions and a spawn guide, so all players can receive these kind of reference cards as well. First player is technically the player who ran most recently, or you can just pick randomly, and then you're going to place your dashers, your meeples, in reverse order, okay, along the racetrack. So this is what we got going on here. So that's kind of like generally the setup. I will mention the tokens on the board. These can be set up at random if you're a more advanced player, but the rulebook does give you some examples of setups that you can try, especially if it's your first game or your second game, or if you are somebody who needs to see something in order to set it up. So I have used one of the race forms that is offered in the rulebook for the purposes of today's preview video. The game will be split into 2 laps. Lap 1, you're going to complete your green blueprint exactly, matching the pattern with no extra tiles. Okay, so during setup, like I said, we each got 2 of these basic tiles, and we are allowed to set them in the center 9 tiles of our board, and we have our green blueprint. Now, what is on the back of this blueprint is kind of a secret. So lap 1 is completing the green side of this blueprint. The first player to do this will unlock double actions for everyone starting next turn, and then we'll flip to the red blueprint for lap 2, okay? So that's what that would look like. Then lap 2 is the second half of the game. You'll rearrange your tiles to match the red blueprint and race to the finish line. So each turn is going to give you some options, and that may be different depending on which lap you're in. For lap 1, you get 1 action. You can choose to either do a racetrack action or a player board action. As soon as somebody starts lap 2, now everybody is going to get the option to do 2 actions. You can either do 2 racetrack actions or 1 racetrack and 1 player board action. So let's take a look at those racetrack actions in detail. When you choose to do a racetrack action, you will get to move, and then you can choose one of the free actions to do. Actually, you can do your free action first and then move, but you always get to move plus a free action. So to move, you will shift your meeple 1 floor orthogonally or diagonally. So if I were here, I could go here, or I could go here, okay? But let's just say I went here. For the free actions, you can choose to collect a tile, trigger a boost, or return a tile. In order to take, you're going to collect the tile from your space and add it to your player board. It's important to know, though, that you can only hold 4 tiles of each color and 4 power-ups. So it's, once again, important to know the difference. A regular tile, not shiny. Power-up, shiny. That's what you need to know. If I were going to use this free action to take, I would take this tile and I could place it on my player board. The next thing that you can do is you can put something back. So you can return a tile from your board to an empty space beneath your meeple. So if I was like, yuck, I don't want that, I'm gonna put that right back there. You could do that. Or you can spawn. To spawn, you will roll the spawn die to add new tiles to spawn spaces, which are these spaces right here that kind of have the matching tile symbols. And this is a spawn die. You can roll the die and then refer to the spawn guide to see what happens. So let's give it a shot. Perfect. All right. So we have regular. That's easy. Spawn a regular tile above the selected spawn point. So that means regular tile, non-shiny, that's a power-up, okay? So we would just place it right there. As you can see on the board, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of elements that are kind of located and scattered all throughout. So the different ones that you are going to encounter, first of all, there's boosts. So that's these green ones here. There are also blue ones that look like this. They just happen to not be in our current setup. Boosts will move you in the arrow's direction or let you take a tile along the way. We also have walls, and you probably can't see but very well, but if I do this, whoop, there's walls. And as you can imagine, walls are going to block your movement paths unless you have a power to shift or break them. Then we have stacks, which on our board would be these 2 with the little 2-card thing, which looks like a stack. Regular stacks, which are what we have, hold 2, and special stacks will hold 3, which look like this. Meaning, on these ones, up to 2 tiles can stack there. So we could do this as an example. All right, let's move on to player board actions. When you choose a player board action, you'll move a tile 1 square orthogonally to better fit your blueprint. If this were here and I wanted to move it, you could do this. You cannot, however, move diagonally. That's a big no-no. Starting from round 3, power-up tiles activate power-up cards when collected. These cards let you swap tiles or positions with other players, move track elements to block or open paths, freeze players forcing them to skip turns, or even force an unwanted tile swap. That's these power-up cards here. So if we look, there's your freeze, move racer, there's one called linking, book tile, move block, book tile, swap tiles, lots of different fun things in the power-ups. Sabotage players will take the sabotage marker, protecting them from targeted power-ups for a turn. So you can't target somebody and then the next turn target them again. They get a little break from it with this marker. Your sabotage meter, which is this little guy right down here, which starts on 0, will check how often you've sabotaged others. At the end, it reveals whether you're a noble Tekton or a sneaky Mekton. You'll win the game by completing both of your blueprints and crossing the finish line first. After the winner crosses, everyone else will keep racing for placement. In a tie, the player with the more correctly placed tiles will win. Then you'll use the Tektonpedia, your Tekton personality guide, hold please, to reveal your racing style, Tekton or Mekton. It's a fun way to see who played honorably and who embraced the chaos. Just to give you a look at this, you'll find your personality here. You're a Mekton if you sabotage other dashers more than 5 times. And these are for the Tektons, and you will find your personality. So as an example, if in lap 1 you sabotaged once, and in lap 2 you sabotaged 3 times, you're 1 out of 3. And that makes you Tuck. That's very cute. These are all the lovely Tektons, but we must also have Mektons. So if you are a saboteur, you are going to be one of the Mektons. So that, my friends, in a nutshell, is Tekton Dash. There's a lot more that can go into it. There's advanced play options. Not only that, we do of course have even more players. Like I said, you can play up to 6. There's lots of different variabilities within this, lots of chaos, all of that good stuff. So your question now might be, who is this game for? Tekton Dash is perfect for players who love fast-paced games with chaotic twists, tile placement puzzles mixed with racing dynamics, and high player interaction and fun, clever sabotage. It's a game of balance between racing fast, building well, and knowing when to throw a wrench into the competition. Maybe you're wondering, is this a mean game? It definitely, yes. I would say this leans on being a bit more of a mean game, but in a fun way, because that is literally the purpose of the game. But you're also kind of working on your own little puzzle over here, okay? And when you get to flip from green to red, and you have to start rearranging things, it really does become like a heavier puzzle style game, while you're also focusing on the racetrack. So it introduces a really interesting combination of board game mechanics that you actually don't really see that often. So if that sounds like it might be something for you, I am going to have the links and everything, like I mentioned before, in the description below. But my friends, that is Tekton Dash. Now, like I said, links and information, description below, you know the drill. Definitely check out the Kickstarter page, read some reviews, check out the rule book, do all that fun stuff to make sure that this game is a good fit for you. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, remember, we are going to Kickstarter for this one. The games that are currently out, you can start by checking at your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that's the Boardroom Game Cafe. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. And now, I say goodbye. Goodbye. Whee! They're so cute. Run, everybody, run. Stay. I did that so gently. Complete secret bloop. Complete secret bloop. Tongue twisters. Jamie making a mess on the side. So you're wondering, maybe, uh-oh, I forgot to put my little thing in there.